You see this body, you see these lips, you feel this love, taste this kiss. I was made this way. I was born this way. I'm here today. And I'm here today. I might fly away. Made this way. I was born this way. I'm here today. Here to stay. Then again, I might fly away. Know that something is required. Then again, no guarantees. What you see is what you get. But you dig in what you see. Maybe I'm a little crazy. Maybe I'm just still a child. But you know it's second nature. I am here to drive you wild. And I'm not gonna change. So honey, let me be. Because I am who I am. And baby, I'm me. Oh, I was made this way. I was born this way. And I'm here today. I'm here to stay. Then again, I might fly away. Made this way. I was born this way. And I'm here today. I'm here to stay. Then again, I might fly away. Okay, I'm a bit of a mixed match when it comes to the human race. My mother is Jamaican American, but here's where it gets confusing. My father is American, Jamaican, Ethiopian, Somalian, Chinese. Add that all together, put it in a mix, you get me, and I was born in Crown Street in Sydney. So, okay, are you confused? I think you just might be. Having a mum who was a famous singer was actually probably more intriguing to people outside of my life because, I don't know, the way I kind of break it down to people is if you don't know any different, then I have nothing to kind of compare it to. It's not like my mother worked in a chip shop one day and then decided to make an album the next. From the moment that I can remember, my mother had music in her life and that's what she did. So I never quite got the fuss about Deni Hines' daughter, except for one day when I was in primary school and she came to school and my headmaster made her sign a piece of paper and then he photocopied it and gave it out to the whole school. That was a bit embarrassing, but that's probably the day when I realised, Mum's a bit different to everyone else's mum. Well, you know how some people have this really big kind of, I was discovered in a supermarket, singing to myself, or somebody stopped me on the street. Well, get this, keeping it real, keeping it so real it hurts. I was discovered in a kitchen while I was making myself a cup of tea. I was at a friend's house and I decided to go and make a cup of tea, as I said, and I was singing, I don't know what I was singing something, and I thought I was alone, but a guy came into the room and asked me if I was singing, and I sort of couldn't lie because I was the only person in the vicinity, and he said to me, you've got a beautiful voice, you've got a job with me and my band in 2 weeks when we go on the road. At that stage I was kind of blown totally out of the water because the guy who came up to me was from a very successful group in the 80s called Wawa Ni, and yeah, I had their albums. I think I possibly had a poster or two on my wall. Shame. Anyway, I ended up working with them and that's how I was discovered. Ain't no sunshine when he's gone. The Rockmelons are a very successful group in Australia, and during my time in high school they had an album out called New Groove. Ain't no sunshine when he's gone, and he's always gone too long. Anytime he goes away, wonder this time when he's gone. I was the person that was put down. I went down and sang a demo for them, and then I came back with them with an idea for a song, old Bill Withers' track, Ain't No Sunshine. I demoed that, they liked it, the record company liked it even more, and then before I even knew it, it snowballed into 3 tracks and an album and a tour and a really successful album, which springboarded me into a solo career, so that was cool. It's Alright was my first kind of big hit, and no, I always say expect the unexpected and be pleasantly surprised, but I've been in England recording the album and the single, and I flew back to Australia to do our awards here called the ARIA Awards, Australian Record Industry Awards, and I got to do a performance on the show, but I only got to
play 2 minutes of my song, and you know, it was a bit, I thought it was actually quite genius. So I did like a 2 minutes. You got maybe half of the verse and a chorus, and it was all choreographed, and I danced and my vocal, and that was it. That's all you got. And then at midnight, after the arias, it got shipped out to the radio stations. So I think maybe the vibe behind it and the excitement behind it is what helped the single kind of, you know, crawl its way up the charts. And I remember, I've still got the piece of paper actually, it's sad. Yeah, I remember when it showed up in the newspaper charts, you know, like number 5, It's Alright. And I was so proud of myself because it was my first single. It was my solo single, and there it was in the top 5. Quite a good thing.
And the winner is It's Alright, Deni Hines.
Deni Hines knocked back the job as lead singer with the brand new Heavies to concentrate on her solo career. It's paid off with a platinum single for It's Alright. This is Deni's first aria.
Yay. I didn't know. I knew I would. Oh, look, thanks. And grouse. Thanks.
Recording artist, I've had to do a lot of television, and I've never really had a problem talking. You might be able to tell. So I had a situation where a girlfriend of mine who hosted a show in Australia with a music channel called Channel V had a soul show called Soul Kitchen, and she was leaving. She had one baby out and one on the way, and wanted to spend more time with her kids. So she wanted to know if I'd be interested in covering until they found somebody to take her position in Soul Kitchen. And I said, yeah, well, yeah, okay, why not? It's relevant to my world of music. I do R&B. It's R&B, hip-hop and soul. I think I can talk about that. So I ended up working for Channel V, and I guess they kind of liked what I did because I'm still here a year and a half later. I have my own cable TV show on a network called Channel V, and my show's called Soul Kitchen.
Okay, but to start things off on the show tonight, we're going to have a little look at Usher's track. Now, you want to know why I'm dancing? I think that's because I'm doing it in the right tempo. This is Usher, where you don't have to call me. He does that in the video, and I really hope that the man is hygienically together. Now, that was E.P.K with their little track, Now, a group that is pretty hardcore back in the day was a group called Public Enemy. Well, guess what? They back with power. Yeah, to the people. Right on. They got a new album. It's called Revolution. I'm going to get on militant now and say, this is the first single from the album called You Gotta Give the Peeps What They Need. You're watching Soul Kitchen, just in case you thought you might have been watching Burke's Backyard or something like that. Now, this young lady called Ashanti, she has just come out with her follow-up single to Unfoolish. It's a track called Happy. And if you listen to the lyrics, you'll see that it's actually a reply to Unfoolish. Anyway, we caught up with Ashanti at her set of the making of the video for Happy. Here she is. But Janet. The two of them got together and they did this track. Just feel it, boy. It was shot in Malibu. It features Beanie Man and Miss Janet Jackson. Irie, let's watch the video, eh? Who took the keys to my beat? Sorry, yeah, that's a tune, in it. I'll tell you, I used to go off in the clubs back in the day in London with that one. Now, I hope you liked the last video that you just saw. That was Miss Monica featuring the next artist that's actually going to take us out today. We're at the end of the show, but don't worry, we will be back, same time, same bad channel, next week. So, on that note, I would like to say to you, thank you for watching, have fun, and this is Brandy with her big hit of the year, What About Us? Huh?
I love doing television. I love all media. I've done radio as well. I like that. That's great for bad hair days where you just don't want to get dressed. You can just come to work, sound great, and look terrible. Television, that's a whole different level. You've got to look good even when you're feeling terrible. But I love it, and I love doing live TV. There's a little bit of a adrenaline rush with the old live factor. You know, I've got a head that kind of thinks pretty fast, and sometimes things come out and whoop, you can't get it. You know, once it's out there, it's out there. But hey, I'm not saying that I've ever said anything terrible, but I do say quite bizarre stuff because I'm kind of bizarre.
And some Aussie freaking hip hop.
Oh, yeah, boy.
Some Aussie freaking hip hop. We've got this great No Doubt bag. We'll show it to you in a moment. It's got loads of CDs in it. So you need to write a rap with the words No Doubt in it. Not easy. Not hard. Not hard.
Sorry, I
You're
was
practicing for the dance off.
Aussie freaking hip hop.
You're doing well.
Thank you.
The most recent album that I just released is kind of like the closing chapter, right? I've grown as an artist. I've stepped into a different dimension. So I released an album called A Delicious Collection because I do believe it's like it's a collection of some of the good songs, the greatest songs I've done. Some of the best songs I've done. And when I was getting the album together, I was saying to the label, it's really bizarre because like on this album there's 15 tracks, and from the first one, which is my first ever recording, Ain't No Sunshine, to the last one, which is What Makes You a Man, my voice has changed. It's really interesting to hear yourself as an artist and hear the way you grow vocally, spiritually, every way. And so, yeah, I definitely hear it when I listen to the album, and I really hope that people who know me as an artist hear it as well. And I hope more than anything they can say, she's gotten better, she's gotten older. Because I do believe that I'm kind of like a fine wine. I get better with age. Music. I want to take my music to everybody or anybody who has ears, okay? So anybody who's willing to listen, I'm willing to sing.
To accuse me of anything, because besides the bigger ring,
my ambitions as an artist, I have to say, are quite bizarre because I don't believe in doing anything, as my grandmother would say, half-assed. I want to be on this planet and I want to be successful on this planet. I'm a Virgo, so I don't want to sort of do it half-assed. I want to really do it. I want to get a Grammy nomination. I want to be the first Black Australian girl born on Crown Street to Jamaican American, Chinese, Ethiopian parents that gets a Grammy nomination. And I'm not giving up until I get one. I'm not saying that I'm going to be mean about it because I'm not a mean person and I don't believe karmically that's the right thing to do. But I do believe that if I want something bad enough, I will get it. And that's a scary factor, and that goes out to everybody. If you really want something bad enough, you get it. But please make sure when you get it, you really want it, because that can be the bummer of the factor. But look, I'd love to work with Stevie Wonder. Wouldn't everybody though? I mean, work. When I say work with Stevie, that means I could just bring the man a cup of coffee, you know? That would be cool for me. I want to work with people who are going to enhance me as an artist, who are going to teach me things, and that's what I want to bring, give to you as an artist.
excuse me for getting all the fellas in a frenzy. I never can say goodbye. No, I have to go. It's time to leave the kitchen, but you know what? I'll be back next week. And if you want more, you know where to hit me up. And if you want some dance music, Insert Club V up next. Peace and hair grease. May you stay happy and peaceful. See ya. I never can say goodbye.
Lovely.